I guess I had a lot of thoughts this past week. This business about being deceived is a big problem, and I think a lot of people don't understand the implications of being deceived. Okay, being deceived is a very powerful tool in the bag of these evil people at the top. Okay, deception is right there with money. Okay, it goes together. The top people are the top money lovers, true. The top people are the top deceivers, also true. Understand, they are manipulating every facet of our lives, everything, K through 12 and beyond. Like I said, it's not necessarily the teachers that are doing this. Unwittingly, unwaringly, they say, well, I am taking the curriculum, it's been handed to me. And these are the experts that I'm trusting that told me this is what should be taught, this is how it should be taught, this is what should not be taught. And here, there's no rhyme or reason. Well, why isn't it important that people know about ethical matters? Okay, why? When they're told, even children get prosecuted sometimes as adults for doing some heinous crime. Why aren't they told, the difference between right and wrong? How, their morality and laws are supposed to conjunct and make sense and be logical, but so often they're not. So, they don't call on the teachers to start explaining the madness of the entire established system, from a very young age, because kids are ready to learn it, but they're not getting that instruction to learn, hey, nothing makes sense in this world, okay? Just suck it up. That's what they ought to just tell them. Look, just conform to the system and you'll get ahead. Isn't that what it's all about? Finding a good career, making a lot of money. So all these people out there that have these highfalutin educations, okay, making a lot of money, and, we think that they're the best and the brightest, but they're not. That's not necessarily the case. But these are the ones that were most interested in having financial security. They wanted a good career. They wanted to make a lot of money. That's what the higher education thing's all about. So we got all these people out there that are really satanic sycophants, and they don't even know it. Completely unaware. Oh, I don't know. I just make a lot of money. I know that, I live in California, but I still can't afford to buy a home. But, that's just the way it is. But I can easily afford my rent, which is exorbitant. You understand? And they just make the problem worse. It's like the auction analogy. It's like you go into an auction, but you're not going in there for any luxury item. You're going in there because you need an essential human need. You need housing. That's what it's become. Okay, and you go in there and you're outbid. That's what's constantly going on. So what's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen? And then the government comes in there supposedly to help those people that are falling through the cracks, that can't afford the housing anymore because of capitalism, big bad So you understand how communists are being made? They're taking the wrath of these communists. The crony capitalists deserve it, though. Not the true capitalists like myself that say, no, this means I'm an egalitarian. I believe in equality. I believe in using it as a means to an end and freeing the people. But do you understand how it gets conflated with true capitalism, gets besmirched, the name of true capitalism, and dragged through the mud because of crony capitalism, how it is actually the main creator, inducer of communism is crony capitalism? Of course it's a turnoff, man. I hate it. All these people that talk, they vaunt the virtues of capitalism. Well, they need to be very clear with everybody, especially the communists out there, about what you're talking about. You make a very clear distinction between crony capitalism, which is a pile of dog crap, and true capitalism, which is an apple to be sought after, okay? Okay, apples and dog crap, okay? Apples and road apples. However you want to get across, make sure they understand that you're with them on the equality thing, on decreasing the wealth disparity, not through the Robin Hood thing, taking from the haves, giving the have, not socialism, whatever. Not through that way. That just creates loopholes for the rich, and so the ones that can really afford to pay the taxes don't end up paying them, and it just creates animosity, and it doesn't work. Flatly, it just has never worked. Show me an example in history when it worked. It never has. And capitalism hasn't worked because they haven't allowed it to work. They don't want it to work. They'll lose control. They know the same things I'm telling you, and Donald Trump knows them too. He's a smart guy, and that's not what makes him so good. It's what the smartest people are the best people. They are good-hearted people. They will have goodwill in their hearts. So they're well-wishers for everybody, not some people, just like myself. He's a well-wisher for everybody. Nobody gets out of my loop of prosperity. Okay, everybody's all-inclusive. Okay, so while you're closing the wealth disparity, it's not by taking from others. It's just by allowing the have-nots to have. And not through increased numbers, not through Keynesianism economics, by money printing. No, it's not done that way. No, unless you take the best part of Keynesianism, where it's about the velocity of the currency, cash flow, circulation, which increases the level of sense of security, financial security. So as it's flowing and it's worth more, do you understand how that could create a situation that's very positive for everybody, that's going to lead to freedom and financial security and prosperity all the way around? That's what it does. And that's what these evil money monsters at the top and their political sycophants, their political puppets in high places, highfalutin politicians, okay, they don't want that. They'll be rendered irrelevant. As the problems drop away, we don't care about politicians anymore. They can be fired. They might have important jobs for now. All these lawmakers, all this stuff. I mean, we got so many politicians and quasi-politicians, proxy politicians, the assemblies and all this crap, the legislators, right? It goes on and on and on. They're just leeches at the trough. That's it, man. They're just taking. The work they do is useless. We don't need it. Like I said, some of these jobs are very important for now, like the social welfare. But, eventually it wouldn't be. You can see how it wouldn't be. If your currency steadily increases, you're not going to need food stamps. You're not going to need Section 8. We're not going to have these problems. Nobody's going to need to go in debt. We're not going to have dubious war. Crime is going to be virtually non-existent because most of the vast majority of crime is being committed because of financial desperation. That's the vast majority of crimes is induced by financial desperation. Let's be very clear about that. So you should understand the power of deceit. It's very strong. It's a very powerful weapon in their arsenal. It's just believing a lie, and that's how these people operate. And they depend on the lie being perpetuated. And a lot of people get it. They say, yeah, I know it's a lie, but I perpetuate the lie because it's my paycheck. It's my job to perpetuate the lie. If I don't perpetuate the lie, I'm out of work. I'm going to be that guy living under the bridge dying tonight. That's what people are afraid of. So this is a serious situation, and people got to get it. People got to understand what motivates these fascist communists out there. What's created them? Crony capitalists. They're tired. They don't want to see this wealth disparity going on. They don't want to play intellectual games. They might say talk to a guy like, hey, he's just trying to be an intellect and talk over my head. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be a peacemaker and bring people together with understanding and empowerment of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay? And let you know how simple it really is. And I'm just tapping into logic and reason and mathematical principles. That's it. It's all math, man. It can all be done. I'm a fiscally prudent guy. So I'd make a good conservative in that sense. I say, yeah, I don't like taxes either. But let's remember the cost of living is a tax. Let's make no bones about that. Be very clear that it doesn't matter if you're getting overburdened because of the government through taxes, actual taxes by the definition. It's the government that's imposing those taxes and fees, whatever, on you, or through the cost of living. So it doesn't matter if too much burden is coming from a private entity or a public entity, if the result is the same, if the effect is the same, if it feels the same, right? Am I making any sense here? Please, folks, help me out here. And everybody just go and spread the truth. That's all I'm asking. I don't care about being popular. I don't want to be popular. I've got no desire for fame or fortune for making my videos. Okay, I can find another 1,000 ways to be prosperous financially, if that was even a concern. I'm a smart guy. I mean, like I said, I got my own line of innovative landscape gardening tools ready to go on the market anytime. I've already got some of them in production. Okay, I just need investors. I need certain things. I don't care. I'm not that driven. I'm not that inspired. I'm not that ambitious, let's say, to make a lot of money. It doesn't turn me on in the state of things as they are. Until I see an end to extreme poverty, I don't really give a crap about money, period. I just as soon be poor and struggle and have that adversity like Victor Hugo vaunted, okay? That's where I'm coming from. So everybody should know, let me be very clear about money and where I stand and prosperity. I'm into prosperity if everybody can attain it. If everybody can attain it, I don't care. I do want to contribute to humanity. To my peers out there doing landscape, I would love to offer them my line of tools. They'll say, oh, Mom, thank God, this guy, had the wherewithal to make these tools because they've made my work a lot easier. No, thank God for giving me the brain and the imagination to design those tools that you enjoy so much, that have made your work a lot easier. Okay? But that's down the road. Like I said, I just don't care that much. If it never happens, it never happens. I have no desire for fame, fortune, or money, at least in the current state of affairs. I hate it. I hate money. I hate what it does to people. Prosperity, that's a whole other story. Yes, I'm for it. But I'm not just for me. No, I can't. It's not the kind of thing I can see going alone. The greatest, problem I have with that philosophy that I prescribe to is that women don't like it, okay? And I like women, okay? And I would like nothing more than to please a wife. Since I was a little kid, that's been a value I've held dear, is just to have a happy wife. That's it. I knew that would make me happy, a satisfied wife. That would make me feel really good. I would like that, just because I've spent a lot of time as a single man does not mean I value that any more, any less than any other man. I don't. I value it greatly. And that's probably the biggest drawback to being poor is that issue right there with, knowing that the women don't want to be with poor men. Okay, I don't like that at all. But again, it's more important to me to see the worm turn, okay, and that disparity start to shrink. And I told you how I want it to shrink. Sound economic policies, the rising tide of prosperity across the board by allowing the extremely poor, those that are hemorrhaging out there, are dying out in the cold literally, okay, to see that come to an end, halt that, turn it around. Then I could enjoy sharing in the bounty, okay, but in the meantime, I just don't give a damn. I just don't give a damn. I really don't. So I just want everybody to know where I'm coming from here on this issue. What's been coming up in the news too? Alex had what's his name? Real good guy. Oh gosh, let me try to remember his name. Hagman, Doug Hagman on the show. I really like the Hagman report. Hagman, whatever. I like this guy, but they were getting into this Pizzagate thing, the pedophilia thing. Dude, I really, this is a tough subject for people, okay? Because all I know is what I believe. And here, laws are laws, and that's good. You should follow the law in regard to this, If you commit statutory rape, if you are a molester, and you belong to not be free, you belong to be confined. All these pedophiles, I've had firsthand experience. That's why this is difficult for me to talk about, because I actually had firsthand experience with this. Not only when I was a boy, at a hospital in Ireland, I'm not going to go into the details of what happened, but I was a boy of, I guess, 10 years old, and I had an incident with a couple of nurses that I thought was a little fishy. But, aside from going into my own personal experience there, what happened was in around 1989, I guess, I was living in Santa Cruz, and my wife and I were separated, and I had two surviving children, my daughters, and she decided to up and move to Las Vegas. She had a powerful attorney, and somehow she got away with this. I guess I could have stopped it if I wanted to get nasty and determined, but you know what? Let it happen. She'll probably end up coming back. She's not going to like Vegas. But anyway, she stayed down. She's still down there. Her dad ended up moving down there. It's a whole big thing. And so, But what happened was my wife, she moved down there with one guy. He was a pretty good guy. I mean, I didn't lie. I was jealous because we were still married. So, I guess I was a little cuckold at the time, just trying to be the nice guy and go along with the program. But, I could talk to this guy, and he was a gentleman. I got in his face. I let him know, where I was coming from. And, I was fairly confident he wasn't going to abuse my children in any way or my wife. And so I really didn't mind her moving down there with this guy. But shortly after she got down there, she broke up with him, and she ended up with another guy.